Hey, I'm Zach Aragoni, and welcome to another episode of Between the Benches. Today, I'm in Minnesota, a state known for freezing cold winters and ice hockey. But what about the sport of bandy, a sport that was created long ago? Well, I'm here to tell you about an incredible group of dudes in Minnesota who are keeping a forgotten sport alive here in North America.
Originating in England hundreds of years ago, bandy is the original ice sport, predating the creation of ice hockey. It is played on a rink the size of a soccer field, with 11 skaters on each side, and for most of its history has been played outside in the frigid Arctic temperatures. Skaters are equipped with a stick similar to that used in field hockey, and instead of a puck, a plastic ball is used. Goalies, on the other hand, are not allowed a stick and must use their hands or body to prevent the ball from going inside the goal, similar to that the size of a soccer net. Unlike ice hockey, checking is not allowed. This, along with the size of the ice, creates a beautiful sport that is centered around speed, skill, and teamwork. In the late 1800s, bandy grew across Europe, but with the outbreak of World War I and the Winter Olympics choosing ice hockey over bandy, the sport would soon be forgotten, except for in 4 countries where bandy had become a way of life: Norway, Sweden, Finland, and the former Soviet Union. It remained that way until 1980, when it was introduced to a group of ice hockey players in the state of Minnesota, spawning a rebirth in the sport of bandy and the amazing story of USA Bandy.
And it was beautiful because all of us had grown up playing outdoors, skating outdoors and pond hockey and all that type of thing. So here you have this giant, in essence, pond hockey rink. All you're using is a stick and a ball. So we adapted to it, emotionally and physically very well. Started because a guy named Bob Coteen, who is the chairman of Edina Park and Rec, he connected with the International Bandy Federation. They'd introduced bandy here. He'd introduced softball in the Soviet Union, Sweden, Norway, Finland. Sweden sent over a guy named Gunnar Fast to get bandy going here in December of 1980, and he was amazingly successful. He coached, he reffed, he played. I was there the very, very first night, and he came out and he threw a bunch of bandy sticks on the ice and a bunch of bandy balls and said, why don't you try this? We tried it for about 10 minutes, then gave him back to him, played our game, and it's taken off since then. 3 leagues, 15 teams total, 2 women's teams. I think that we as a club have accomplished more than any club in the history of the bandy world. All with volunteers, very little money. This is indeed the center, home of USA Bandy.
We were playing Finland in Kazakhstan, and on the back of Finland's jersey, their sponsor was Arctic. And I'm sitting here going, Arctic is based in Minnesota, and they're sponsoring the Finnish national team, yet we are Team USA, and we don't have any corporate sponsors of any kind. We travel further than every other country to go to the World Championships. We pay for all of our own stuff, and that includes gear, ice time here. We pay for airfare getting over there, and we're jet lagged getting off the plane, and these guys have been there a week before with hotel and trainers and chiropractors and massage therapists, and we travel with 18 players and 5 support staff and some parents. And so we've got a lot of respect from a lot of those countries because, they're astonished at what we're able to accomplish with so few people. And I think we're out to prove them wrong. The only way that we even have bandy in the U.S. is because of the people that started it, stuck with it. We're lucky to have the only rink in the Western Hemisphere to play bandy, and we bootstrap pretty much everything. I've gotten to see it as a youth player, as a high school, college, and now as an adult, all the way through to now being president of American Bandy and the only way that we accomplish any of this stuff is through the people that are involved, because they have a passion for it. And other countries, players are making $1 million a year. We can't compete with that. So I'm really proud of what we've been able to accomplish on such a shoestring budget. There's talkers and doers, and we've got a lot of doers that go out of their way because they have a passion for it.
What do you think is the biggest accomplishment USA Bandy has done?
We beat Norway with about a 100-year head start on bandy, but we beat them a few years ago in Russia. That was pretty exciting.
That was extraordinary because the last 10 minutes we were 2 men short, and they were desperately trying to score. They didn't want to be the first Norwegian team ever to lose to the U.S. And Russia and Finland were playing after us, and they were all there watching, and the crowd was full of Russian fans, tooting the horns, banging the drums, and they went nuts when the final shot went right over the net with about 1 second left, and we actually won the game.
Probably the best memory was we beat Norway a couple years ago and took 5th place, and 5th place doesn't sound very glamorous, but you got to remember we're a bunch of amateurs. Like, I hang out with my family and I put my kids to bed tonight, and then I drove all the way over here 45 minutes from my house to play bandy, and we can still compete with them, which I think is pretty cool, pretty special.